Hello and welcome along to our Punchestown videos coming your way on Champ.ie this week. We are on to preview day 3 and we are doing so just ahead of racing on day 2. So good luck with your selections for day 3. Well, we've got, of course, Champ.ie. We're on to episode 48. We're gone into season 5 in our association with our brilliant sponsors and partners, Goran Park, Syndicates.Racing, KCLR Radio, and Boyle Sports, our betting partner. Now, a massive thank you. On yesterday's video, we reached out to you to subscribe just below, right below. We asked you to subscribe, and the amount of you out there that did for us was absolutely mind-blowing. A massive thank you to all of you. Now, for those of you who didn't do it yesterday and you're watching this video on day 3 of Punchestown, can you please do more subscriptions for us, because we're heading for the 3,000 followers mark. We want to reach that mark, and we want just to grow and continue to make Champ.ie enjoyable for you, the listeners out there. And the man behind it all is the man at the other side of the screen, Barry.
And we're all behind it all, David. You napped the winner yesterday. Daddy long legs. Jerry Hannon. I think it was the moment of the week so far, David. But yeah, good shout by you. And I'm hoping for a little bit more success today. But we've fantastic, I suppose, a card today as we're recording on Wednesday. And then we're going to look ahead to Thursday on this particular episode. And down below, of course, David, not just subscribe to the followers, but make sure to get your selections in for day 3 of the Punchestown Festival. We're going to take a look ahead to each and every one of the 8 races. And of course, the draw is coming up on the preview for Friday, of course, which will be 2 tickets to the Punchestown Festival on the prize, of course, 2 tickets to the Punchestown Festival on Saturday. So make sure you're in with a shout. 2 winners or more will qualify you for the draw. And we look forward to drawing that winner very, very soon.
We've got a handicap chase here. It's a listed contest. And my nap pick on day 3 is going to run here. That is Blood Destiny. And of course, high-class novice. And I think is very dangerous on handicap debut. His chase form, Barry, I think is very, very consistent. And finished 3rd last time. Now, beating a length and 3/4 and a length and a half behind Spillane Tower in Tactical Move. We saw what Spillane Tower did for Jimmy Mangan, JP, and the Mangan family on day 2. And that's why I think that form is really, really strong. And it makes the David Byrnes nap pick on day 3, Blood Destiny.
Yeah, kind message from the bookies for mentioning about Spillane Tower winning a grade 1, but he's won 2 of them now. And just looking at it, I suppose they're talking Gold Cups for him next year. And on that form, David, Blood Destiny, obviously a player. He's had a busy enough campaign, though. Back to 2 miles, I think, could actually suit him, though. He's a good jumper, is Blood Destiny. And Paul Townend, obviously, no negative on board as he's trying to close in on Jack Kennedy for the jockeys title. But the one I like the going into Cheltenham, David. And speaking of spring handicaps, I think that has definitely been the plan. I think you know the horse I'm going to say, Enniskerry. I think this horse could be a graded horse in a handicap. He's rated 147, so he's getting weight off your selection, Blood Destiny. But I think the ground was the thing with Cheltenham. You've got good to soft ground. I'd say Barry Connell would have taken his chance, but the ground is going to be drying out all the way to Thursday. There's not much rain scheduled, David, and all 5 of Enniskerry's career wins have come on good ground, and both chase wins right-handed. So I think you can certainly look at this horse with having a big each-way chance. I think he's the each-way bet of the day, David. And yeah, on just its 15th start on the racecourse. It is a 10-year-old Enniskerry, but a classy, lightly raced 10-year-old at that. Jumps well, travels like a 2-miler, and I'd say stepping back and trip. He was last seen and when finishing 7th over 2.6 in the Galway Plate. Stepping back and trip will definitely suit him.
Yes, well, there you go. That is our thoughts on race number 2. We move on to the Touche at Punchestown, Barry. This to be run over 4 miles in 1. I always love this. I think it's one of the most entertaining races of the week. And we've seen some classy winners in the past of this, of course. Vital Island won it last year. Ballyboker Bridge singing banjo. We had Ballyboker Bridge actually win the race twice, 2019 and 2022. We have the likes of Cocoa Beach back here again, who was a good winner at Punchestown over 3 miles on the 5th of February. What's your thoughts on the Touche?
Yeah, well, with a 15-year-old winner 2 seasons ago, Ballyboker Bridge. I don't think you're going to get as elderly a winner this year, David. I thought it could be actually quite straightforward if he rocks up and gives his best performance. Cocoa Beach, Jack Kennedy talking about it as his potential best chance of the week in the Touche. Memories of the Touche, I remember Uncle Junior. What a finish that was. Patrick Mullins on board. Oh God, I won't even attempt the commentary. But anyway, fancy this Cocoa Beach to go and win the race. Won a Tri-Town, of course. Did win the Goss Tiestas in the past as well, and he won over the banks at Punchestown back in February. So I think looking at ratings, I think he's very well treated looking at race conditions, and I think I'd like to think anyway, take a bit of stopping, David. He'd probably be a short price, but Cocoa Beach, I wouldn't be looking any further.
No, I have to agree with you 100%. I think he's the safest option in the race, and despite being a short price, he'll be going into many of Acumes, and I'd go as far as to say himself and Blood Destiny could make up a very nice double on day 3. Once again, as we preview and look ahead to race number 4, don't forget just to go and look down below. Get your subscriptions in if you haven't done so. We had a fantastic response to the video yesterday, and you subscribing.
We're nearly there. We're nearly there.
Come on, help us out. Let's get it over the line this week on Champ.ie. Barry, let's move on to the Grade 1, the first of them on Thursday, which is the Barberstown Castle Novice Chase here. I don't think we're going to delay long on it because there's 4 runners on it. Who's going to win it? We've Gaelic Warrior, Hercule du Soy, Ilete Tomp, and Mount Frisco.
Yeah, Gaelic Warrior will win this race, David. So he's going the right way around. I think it's game over. Going right-handed, he's a stone better, in my opinion, than Ilete Tomp. And I think stepping back and trip, going right-handed, not going to be an issue. Ilete Tomp seemed to appreciate the step up and trip at Aintree. He's obviously been to Cheltenham as well. He's had a harder season, I think, than Gaelic Warrior. So I'd be sided with Gaelic Warrior, but certainly not a bet at that price at Punchestown towards the back end of the season, but should win.
Granger and Patrick Mullins.
McGree had justified favouritism, but sharp object out in front was ready for John McConnell and Alex Harvey.
Western victory, Silverland. That'll be the finishing order.
Yes, well, welcome back. We've 4 more races to look ahead to, Barry. And you were so strong on Teahupoo for the Stairs Hurdle at Cheltenham. He's he's odds on to get the job done again in the Champion Stairs Hurdle, Grade 1. Have we strong opposition, or is there a case to be made for something outside of Teahupoo, currently 5-4 on with our betting partner, Boyle Sports? Or is this a case of another good performance from this very, very good stair and following up on the victory at Cheltenham?
I don't think there's that much strong opposition, but I do like the chances each way of Home by the Lee, and I just wonder would Teahupoo be a little bit vulnerable. He's clear he's clear on ratings, and he's clear, I think, of the rest if the ground was soft to heavy and if he was coming in here fresh. But that's not the case, David. Coming into this race, I thought Home by the Lee ran an absolute cracker to finish 3rd in the stairs at Cheltenham, and the blinkers seemed to really spark him up. It was interesting post-race reaction from Joseph O'Brien. He was absolutely thrilled with the run. So too JJ Slevin. And the blinkers could be the key to this horse. They seemed to spark up a bit of life last time. And he hasn't had a very hard season Home by the Lee. This is only his 4th run of the season. Obviously, that's the same with Teahupoo, but I just wonder, is he better a fresh horse, and could Cheltenham have taken the edge off him? Just looking, I suppose, at the rest of the runners in the shape of the race. Buddy won. Thought he got quite tired late in the run at Aintree. He's also had a hard season. Sarah de Burla is a 12-year-old. Just looking at the shape of the race, you're getting 3 places. We've over the 8 runners, and I think it's the old classic account closer, David, set an each way bet on Home by the Lee. He's priced up at 6-1. I think he'll be banged there on the premises and the nicer ground as well. 4 of his 8 wins in his career have come on good yielding grounds, or good or yielding ground, should I say. So, I think the favourite could be vulnerable. I wouldn't be steaming in or putting him into multiples. If you were looking for a short one, I'd rather back Cocoa Beach.
Yeah, and I'd have to agree with you again, because there is rain forecast for Thursday for Punchestown, but like Teahupoo is going to need a lot of rain, and that ground is going to be drying out, because lovely dry day in Punchestown Tuesday, lovely dry
It's only 2 mil, David, Jew, on
it's
Thursday.
Not enough. Yeah, it's absolutely not enough. So if you do fancy Teahupoo, that's very good. Go ahead. We as they say, we don't know it all, but we'd certainly be advising and treading carefully on Teahupoo in that one. Right, let's move on, because we have the 6:35. It's a listed handicap hurdle, and we've had a few minefields this week already, but we've had a couple of good horses coming in here with really good form as well into this contest, Barry. Which of the runners in this competitive listed handicap hurdle do you like?
I think Henry the Bromhead, first and second in the market, coming up easy in Popova. I'd say Rachel Blackmore would have had an absolute, head scratcher here, because Popova, obviously was fancied each way by some, going to Cheltenham for the Pertemps, and ran an honourable race as well. Was given a good hike by the British handicapper. Was one of the, I suppose, the worst treated Irish horses going to Cheltenham. The spring ground will suit that, but Rachel's gets on, coming up easy, who could be very, very unexposed, and absolutely bolted up last time, I think, on testing ground down at Limerick. So I think they have obvious claims, but the one I did like, I thought was very, very interesting, Hands of Gold. And I'm seeing tissue prices at 20-1. If you were getting double figures, 25 runner handicap, number 25 once again on your race card, David, for Arthur Moore. Cheap pieces on for the first time. Third run in a handicap. He was novice chasing most of the season, but second start back over hurdles, only his eighth start over hurdles in its career. Was a winner at Naas last year on yielding ground. I think it could be a lot better than 122, and I think he's unexposed, stepping up the 3 miles for the first time over hurdles. So lightweight in his back, Hands of Gold, that'll do each way for me. And Ricky Doyle knows the horse well in the McManus Hoops.
Yeah, I'm going to take a chance. Captain Cody might improve again from that win at Fairyhouse and do the business. Right, penultimate race, Barry. Another listed novices hurdle this time. And again, quite a nice field here of 16 lining up.
Yeah, there is. And I thought the British runner had a good each-way chance here. Casanamento, interesting. Nigel and Sam Twiston Davis bring this runner over. All 3 of its wins has been on good ground. Was very good last time. Really caught the eye when winning at Chepstow. And a real improver, was only beaten, just touched off in a listed race for mares behind Queen's Gamble on nice ground 2 starts ago. And I thought that was a good run off the back of over 100-day absence last time at Chepstow. And you're going to be getting double figures. Look, WillieMullins, obviously, Paul Town, I think a tough pick in here. Spindlebury was bang in the mix, wasn't she, at Fairyhouse? She was getting weight on that occasion. But is the ground going to be, she's quite a top-heavy filly, this daughter of policymaker. I just wonder, would she be like a little bit softer ground? Paul Town, obviously, doesn't think so. He's on board. And on form, she looks probably the one to beat. But I'd take her on looking at the ground conditions. Me wee Bonnie Lass has been consistent. She's an 8-day turnaround, so I thought she was quite good. She had a setback prior to her win at Bellewstown. And Implicit definitely caught the eye. Brian Hayes on board. That one got up in the shadows of the post to beat Aussie's Lodge at Fairyhouse last time as well. But I'd just take on the Mullins runners here. I thought Got Glory, she doesn't look that straightforward. And again, I'd have maybe slight ground concerns with the ground drying for her. Casanamento won't have any issues on the ground. The Twiston Davises bring this runner over. And we do see the odd British winner at the Punchestown Festival every now and then, David.
Yes, and we haven't seen a Danny Mullins winner just as yet, and I wouldn't be one bit surprised if Got Glory could be one to concentrate on here. This was pitched into graded action first time up last year, disappointed, but absolutely sluiced up in a maiden hurdle and looked really, really eye-catching to me. I think Got Glory, WillieMullins and Danny Mullins, don't overlook this one. Last time out winner at Naas steps in here to listed novices hurdle company, but obviously is well thought of because it was, as I said, into that graded company first time of asking last year.
Absolutely.
So, that's just the thoughts on the penultimate race. The 740 then, our final race on day 3. We finish off with a flat race again. And, plenty in here with chances, some really good form to go on. And Barry, what way? And I know you're a good man on the breeding and all of the rest and big prices for runners and bumpers. What stands out here?
Well, I was down at Gorham Park for when Samir won, and I was down at Gorham Park when Port Julian won, and I just was very, very impressed with Port Julian. He's going to be my nap pick of the day in the bumper. Patrick Mullins and the Richie Silks, they won it last year, of course, with Ballyburn. And Patrick, quite keen in his comments leading into the Punchestown Festival. I have to say, after that one at Gorham Park, the Docks bumper, of course, named after, of course, the great friend of WillieMullins. I thought Port Julian was definitely the way to side here. Samir looked good, obviously, as well. I don't think the form is as strong. I thought the second behind Port Julian, actually bred by an All-Ireland winner, Good and Kind, the All-Ireland winning captain of 1998, David, Mark Landers, bred the second. He quite liked him going into the race at Gorham Park, and I thought Port Julian could be certainly a horse with a big, big future, and I'm going to put that forward as my nap pick of the day on just his second start for WillieMullins.
And I'd just like to ask you about one horse that get your thoughts on. I thought Gold in the Mountains win at Leopardstown on the 26th of December. There was plenty to take of that one. Would you give that any chance for Martin Brazil in the last?
Yeah, with him on the podcast, and I think he was keen to bypass. This is a young horse, obviously, and Martin Brazel, we know how gently he likes to campaign his horses. Was on a preview with Michael O'Sullivan. He was giving this a good each way chance if he went for the champion bumper. I actually think he could be the danger, Gold in the Mountains, but I think poor Julian might just have a touch of stardom about him. I think he could be a class horse for the future. And I think he'll take a lot of beating on the final race of Punchestown Day 3.
Well, there you go. That is Punchestown Day 3 done and dusted from a Champ.ie point of view. Hopefully we found you plenty of winners and the pockets keep filling up for you this week at Punchestown. Big thanks to our sponsors once again, Syndicate Racing, Gorham Park Racecourse, our KCLR Radio in Kilkenny, and our betting partner Boyle Sports. Don't forget to watch out for Day 4. And once again, before we go, if you haven't done so already from our 2 plugs, subscribe down below. We'll update you on the subscriptions on Day 4 video. From Barry and I, have a great Punchestown and enjoy Day 3.